Hey everyone, Mr. Happy here, and in this video we'll be doing a full breakdown on the Sage job coming in Endwalker. This information is fresh out of the latest media tour, but bear in mind everything in this video is still subject to change before Endwalker's release. Oh, and also there's a playlist in the description and from clicking the eye in the top right corner to take you to all of the other Endwalker job videos.
Okay, 11.
With that,
okay.
let's
Holy
get started.
shit, it's 11 already.
So Sage is a new
still
healer
got
being
raid
added
tomorrow
when
as well.
the Endwalker expansion releases. It is defined as a barrier healer, possessing frequent access to damage-preventing shields to protect the party. It has several job gauges and mechanics that all work in tandem to provide a unique experience compared to the other healers. First off, Sage has a few basic spells. Dosis is their single-target DPS spell, Diagnosis is a single-target heal, and Prognosis is an AoE heal. These basic spells can then be altered by using the Eucrasia ability. This changes their effects while also increasing their MP cost. Dosis is changed into a damage
barrier,
over
right?
time effect, while Diagnosis and Prognosis have shields added to their spells at the cost of some of their healing.
You see what I mean? You see what I mean? So what if it's new? So what is fanciful? We all know it's gonna be somewhat similar. So all this eye candy, all these tooltips means absolutely nothing for me. Right? If I look at it and I compare to Scholar, right? Yeah, same shit. Right? It's not like it's better.
Potency. You'll want to use Eucrasia specifically when you want to access these effects. It simply incurs a 1-second delay when you activate it, effectively making any of these GCDs a 3.5-second GCD just to perform the singular action. You can also use the Pepsis skill to remove any Eucrasia shields from party members and instantly heal them based on whether they have a Prognosis or Diagnosis shield. Eucrasia Diagnosis in particular also has another effect. If a player with a Eucrasia Diagnosis shield has their shield broken by damage, the Sage will receive a stack of Adder's Sting, the diamonds on the bottom part of the job gauge for reference. These can be consumed to access the Toxicon spell. While it has the same potency as Dosis, it has no MP cost, helping with the added cost of using Eucrasia Diagnosis. It is also AoE, so it's a fantastic dungeon tool as it does significantly more damage than their base AoE DPS spell, Discrasia. Put this on tanks before they pull trash and bosses for a free use in dungeons. Their next job mechanic is their Cardia skill. Placing this on yourself or a party member, ideally, gives them the Cardian effect. This causes all of the Sage's damaging spells to also heal the
So far, everything is suggestive that Dancer should have been this type of healer. Dancer should have been the healer in 5.0. If you actually think about it, all those stances are literally your dance. This is your dance partner. Because Blue Mage turns out to be a DPS, which it should be. Blue Mage turned out to be a limited job, but it was a DPS. They couldn't release /sell an expansion without a DPS. And therefore, Dancer, which was supposed to be the 5.0 healer, which is supposed to work exactly like Sage is, except obviously look different, but otherwise, if you think about it, the gameplay is literally what a Dancer could have been. Then Dancer becomes the DPS. And then now this healer that is supposed to be the healer for Dancer in 5.0 is now then bring forward to here. It's so fucking obvious.
Guardian player.
It's
The
so
potency
obvious.
of this is just under Eos and Celine's Embrace, and can only affect a single person at a time, but switching your Cardion partner is very pain-free. Expect to swap between tanks or players who are taking consistent damage in raids quite frequently. Using the Soteria skill, you can actually double the heal your Cardian partner is receiving when you deal damage. It only lasts about 10 seconds, so 4 or 5 global cooldowns, and it does have a 90-second cooldown in the Media Tour build.
Let me just put it up front. I'm not gonna trust Sage Parks. I can tell you that right now. You give all this intuitive thing to a park, they're gonna fuck up.
Still, definitely going to be useful. The final bit of their job gauge is their Adder's Gall. Every 20 seconds, the Sage gains a stack of Adder's Gall, represented by the filling bar and the ovals above it.
Let me tell you the problem about this job. The problem about this job, eventually, people will start complaining about how the fuck am I doing only as good or slightly better, even if it's better, slightly better than a Scholar when I have to do so much shit, when I have to spend so much attention, when I have to press different buttons to achieve different effects of different players. And then I only do as much or equivalent in terms of RDPS or ADPS. That's going to be the complaint. And then you know what's going to happen? That another balancing hell. So the good players will be really happy. Ooh, because I'm good, and therefore I am good. But only slightly better than Scholar. And then, obviously, the general public, which is the shitters, they're gonna suck at this job. And there's gonna be so many people playing this job. That also means that more suckers, we're gonna fucking suffer. I feel.
There are 4 off-global abilities these can be used on, and using any of them restores 5% MP. Dracole is a single target heal, Ixocole is an AoE heal, Toracole is a weaker single target heal that also reduces damage for a short time, and Caracole is an AoE regen and
Just give me a fucking Chipotle already. I don't even remember the name. I don't even want to know the name.
damage reduction. The 2 damage reductions also can't be stacked. You'll be using your Adder's Gall skills very frequently, as a ton of healing and damage mitigation is loaded into these skills. You can also use Rizamata to instantly generate 1 Adder's Gall on a short 1-minute cooldown. That's it for job gauge related stuff, but they still have a bunch of other useful tools. Zoe increases your healing potency for your next healing spell, and Crassus increases you and your party members' healing received for a short time, so straightforward healing buffs. You also have Physis, healing received potency for your next healing spell, and Crassus increases you and your party members' healing received for a short time.
Okay, that's your X-Corp. I mean, not X-Corp, that is your... What is the skill called? Resuscitation.
So straightforward healing buffs. You also have Physis and Physis 2, 2 different buttons with similar effects. Physis 1 is an AoE regen with only a 1-minute cooldown, and Physis 2 is a stronger regen that doesn't last as long, but it boosts everyone's healing received while in effect, and also has a much longer cooldown.
What the
Lots
fuck?
of regen and healing buffs as you while in effect, and also has a much longer cooldown. Lots of cooldown. And Physis 2 is a stronger regen that doesn't last as long, but it boosts everyone's healing received while in effect, and also has a much longer cooldown. Lots of regen and healing buffs as you can see.
This is what I mean.
There is all
This is what I mean. Do you guys still think Scholar is inferior? Excitement-wise, fun-wise, this job seems to be more fun. But do you guys really think this job is gonna be blowing Scholar away?
also
Do you guys really think Scholar is bad?
Hollows, which is just a 60-second cooldown AoE heal. Nothing too fancy, it seems. They also have Haima and Panhaima. Both of these spells do the same thing, just Haima is single target and Panhaima is AoE. I assume these will have different potencies in the full release, since it is kind of weird that they are exactly the same despite being single target and AoE here. Upon using these skills, they apply a shield on the affected player. They also get 5 stacks of the same buff. For the duration of these skills, every time the shield breaks, a new one takes its place, for up to 5 additional shields. If any shields are left when the timer expires, they will heal effect.
This one right here is the counter skill to that Scholar 20-second 10% mitigation, basically.
Affected players based on the number of shields remaining. These are both great for consistent sources of damage, as it seems the repeat shields don't interfere with other types of shields as well. But again, I'm going to keep my eye on the potency in the full release. Their last few...
But then you can't play Scholar and Sage together. So even if it doesn't apply to even if it doesn't conflict another shield, it's the same as Scholar. Because they set a restriction, but not, although that is just RF, but unless balance is really bad, I don't see how people will bring Sage and Scholar together. So technically speaking, even if it's just a shield by its own that doesn't coincide, it doesn't change anything, right?
Few skills just round out the job's utility and damage. Phlegma 3 is another global cooldown damaging skill that deals significantly more damage, but only generates charges every 45 seconds. It's also AoE, so this is important to use during damage buffs from your party or to AoE down big groups of enemies. Agero is their resurrection skill, and they even have a movement skill in that of Icarus. It lets you dash to enemies or allies, but has a lengthy 45-second cooldown. Finally, their level 90 capstone skill, Numa. This fires a giant AoE laser at your enemy that deals damage while also healing nearby allies. It even reduces the damage.
Okay, now this shit does look better than the Scholar one. Okay, now this shit looks better than the Scholar one.
The party takes for a short time after you fire the laser. It deals the same damage as your Dosis spell, so you wouldn't just burn it to DPS in single target situations. You'd opt to use it when you need the damage reduction more than anything else. I really enjoy that it does deal damage.
No. You guys hear that? Ideally, you want to use it for the damage reduction and not use it for damage, but because you have a potency attached to it, burst window happen, 2 minutes, people Sage are just going to use it to burst. Nobody's going to use it for damage reduction.
As it makes using the global cooldown on this skill worth it for the other effects without costing you DPS, and since it's not any stronger, you never feel forced to use it right as it comes off
Because DPS
cooldown.
get deal. If people know what the fuck they are doing, yes. Like I said earlier, do you trust Park with these type of things? I don't. Do you guys trust Parks in reading?
As for their traits, there really isn't much to say because these are the kind of traits that just set up the job to work at level 90 in the first place, so they're kind of the baseline that we'll be looking at in future expansions. Maim and Mend increasing healing and action damage, for example. Adder's Gall and Adder's Sting traits are just adding those job gauges to the job. The Oath ones are just increasing offensive potencies. The offensive magic masteries are just increasing skills to new tiers. The enhanced healing magic one is just going to make your heals and your shield a little stronger, just like Scholar has. And enhanced Caracole gives a regen to that skill, similar to how Sacred Soil gets a regen at the later levels. The Zoe one just matches the deployment one for Scholar. Their deployment goes down to 90 seconds, Zoe goes down to 90 seconds at that level. So there's nothing really fancy to talk about here. It's all by the books. Overall, I love Sage. The aesthetic, the pace, the identity it has as a healer. I don't think it's necessarily stronger than Scholar either, but it does.
Yeah, that's my exact sentiment. I don't think just going by this we can just say that Scholar is dunzo, Scholar is bad. I just think aesthetically looking and as a original healing job, I think they did the job. I just hope that this job is not one mechanic, one identity too overwhelming for the general players. I can tell you right now, I don't trust any non-static member to play this at all. If I'm a white mage, and if I'm a natural, and I go to Park, which I will see a lot of Sage, I'm fucked. I feel
like a completely different flavor of job. It has a decent spread of utility in both healing and damage reduction, a few regens, a few shields, and a ton of DPS related skills. They made it so it's worth using them in all different ways, either to save MP, trigger
it's a good
other
design
effects,
though, but
or
I'm not
just
sure whether the
basic
player are ready for
filler
this.
plus dot skills. It definitely feels exciting. Even in the one dungeon I ran, I found I was just constantly slinging spells and effects. Not very efficiently, but I was doing it. I can't wait to play this job more in the full release. That's going to be a wrap for my overview on the Sage job coming to Endwalker. Be sure to like, favorite, subscribe, and share, and check out all of the other Media Tour videos in the playlist.
Okay, there's so many
Thank you
good
for
clips on
watching,
Sage
and until
players.
next time, take care.
Me, on the other hand, I'm not excited for Sage at all. Because I'm gonna be the receiving end of getting Sage in my party as my healer and or my co-healer. I don't see myself playing Sage. But I feel that I'm gonna get griefed the fuck out by this job in PF.